Howdy folks, welcome back to Amber Minecraft. We're doing general tutorials today on dyeing wool. We can see here that I have this nice little farm full of sheep, and we're going to teach you how to make all sorts of different kinds of blocks of wool. You can see here all the different colors that you can make of wool. This is used for decoration, basically. There's really no other use for wool besides making a bed and making cool pictures, but this will show you how you can make large amounts of wool of certain colors in survival mode so that you don't have to be in creative mode to make cool decorations. We're going to go ahead and start off by looking inside this box. We have different materials that we need to use to make all of our primary colors. You can see all of our primary colors here in this row and in this row. The primary colors are going to be blue, green, yellow, red, brown, black, and regular white wool. In order to make blue wool, we're going to be needing a material called lapis lazuli, which can be mined deep underground. To make green wool, we have to get a cactus green dye, which we can get from crafting cactus blocks. To get yellow, we need to get a dandelion yellow dye, which we can get from regular yellow flowers. To get the red wool, we need to get the rose red dye, which we can craft from any roses that we find. And brown wool is dyed by using cocoa beans. You can take any colored block of wool and apply bone meal to it, which you can craft from a regular bone, to dye it white again. And to get black wool, we need to get ink sacs from squids in the water. Beyond your primary colors, you have a set of secondary colors, which are created by putting two different dyes of your primary colors together in your crafting table. To get your light blue wool, you're going to put lapis lazuli and bone meal together to make the blue lighter. In order to get cyan wool, you're going to be taking lapis lazuli, so your blue dye, and your cactus green, and putting them together to get your cyan, which is going to be slightly darker, more green color than the blue. To get purple wool, you're going to mix your lapis lazuli, or blue dye, with your rose red dye. To get lime wool, the light green, you're going to be mixing cactus green with bone meal to make it lighter. To get orange wool, you take your dandelion yellow and your rose red and mix them together. And pink is rose red with bone meal to make the red lighter. You can also get a gray wool, which is created by mixing a bone meal and an ink sac. Then you have a tertiary level of colors, which you can create by mixing together different dyes. If you create your ink sac and bone meal, you get your gray dye, but then if you add more bone meal to it, you can actually get a light gray dye. So by mixing ink sac and a bone meal and getting your gray dye, then taking the gray dye and adding more bone meal, you get light gray. If you want to get a pink dye, or after you create a pink dye and a purple dye from your bone meal and rose red, your lapis lazuli and rose red, and mixing the two, the purple and the pink, you can actually get magenta, which is your other secondary color. Unfortunately, it isn't very efficient dye-wise to make a dye and dye blocks of wool. For example, I could grab a block here and grab out some lapis lazuli and some bone meal and make a whole bunch of light blue dye. And I get 62 light blue dyes, and I can put them on with my wool and get 64. But that uses up 64 pieces of dye. It's actually considerably easier to do this a different way. I'm going to go ahead and make up all of my dyes here really quick. And then I will show you the fastest way to make your dyes. So let's go ahead and make some light or cyan, and here is some purple, and some lime, some orange, pink, gray, We'll go ahead and make some light gray also. And then some magenta. And we'll go grab our primary colors out of the box over here. A more efficient way to use your dyes is to actually take a sheep and dye the sheep a certain color. For example, we'll go ahead and dye this sheep orange. And then we can dye this one light green, and this one purple, and cyan, light blue. There's a yellow, red sheep, gray sheep, brown sheep, black sheep, light gray sheep. He's already white. There's some magenta. There's a green, blue, and pink. That covers all of our colors. And now if we want to get a color more efficiently, we just go up to the sheep of that color, say I want a lime green, and when I shear that sheep, he gives me light green wool. And now when this sheep goes ahead and eats a little bit of this grass and regenerates his wool, he will be green still. There I've got myself some orange. I can get some purple off this guy. And if I were to dye all of the sheep the same color, and then shear them all, and then wait for them to grow, I can get large amounts of every color wool really, really quick. And I just heard a sheep eat. Let's see if it was one of them. Yep, this guy over here, our little orange guy, he just ate, and you can see he's got his wool back already. And so we can go ahead and shear him again and keep going. That's about it for dyeing wool. The only other thing is, I mentioned it earlier, you can actually turn your sheep back white again by using bone meal on them. And you can dye them back a different color. And you can use any dye on any sheep regardless of their color and change it. That's it for this tutorial. Thanks for watching. If you want to see any other crafting recipes or any other general tutorials, here is the link to the playlist for that. We also have combat tutorials. Here's the link for those tutorials. Redstone devices and other redstone technology here. We'll be doing some command blocks tutorials also, which once those are set up, you'll see the link on this link here. And achievements for the entire game are found in the playlist that is appearing on the screen right now. We also have things like mining tips and transportation tips, which you can find at these links, and if there's any other ones that I'm missing, you should see those links popping up on the screen right now. Thanks for watching. Go ahead and subscribe so you know when we update things, and like these videos if you find them informative. And that's about it. Thanks for watching, and happy Minecrafting.